Valentine's Day is just around the corner, and what does that mean? We need something sweet to give to a sweet person in our life. So today I am making a chocolate cake. This chocolate cake is gluten-free as well as vegan, meaning that it has no eggs and no dairy in it. It is moist and it is lovely, so it'll be perfect for Valentine's Day. Now before we start making the cake, we need to talk about icing. I am making this cake for a friend's daughter who is allergic to everything and she can't have corn. And icing sugar is mostly cornstarch. Don't know if you knew that, but it is. And so I want to make something a little bit different that doesn't have any corn in it. So what I've done is I've made something like a chocolate ganache, but it only has cocoa, sugar, and coconut milk in it. All I've done is stirred those three ingredients together in this pot and brought it to a boil, stirring constantly. So this is what it looks like here. And now what I'm gonna do is throw this in the fridge so it hardens up and it gets quite thick and quite lovely. And then we can spread it onto our cake. Now I'm actually gonna throw this into the freezer so it hardens up more quickly. The best thing is to make this the day before so it's nice and thick and ready for you. So I'll do that and then we'll start our cake. This cake takes 2 flours, that is it. Brown rice flour and tapioca flour, as well as some cocoa. And then to go along with that, we need of course a little bit of salt, a little bit of xanthan gum. But to replace the eggs, what I'll be doing is using a little bit more baking powder to give it a little bit more oomph. So it will actually take 4 teaspoons of baking powder as well as a teaspoon of baking soda. The secret ingredient to this cake is applesauce. It adds moisture, it also adds bulk to the cake and helps to replace the egg. So the combination of baking powder and the applesauce really helps to take care of the lack of egg and gets everything nice and fluffy. So I'll be using applesauce, a milk alternative like almond milk, as well as honey and oil, and that makes up the whole wet ingredients. My honey went all hard on me, but it still works. So we have our wet and dry ingredients. We will be mixing them up and pouring them into a greased and floured pan. I'm using 2 of them to make a layered cake. When you are mixing your wet and your dry ingredients, do not overmix the batter. Mix until it's just combined, otherwise you'll start to deflate the baking powder, and the baking powder is what is going to get our cake nice and light. So I'll mix that up and throw it into my pans here. The batter needs to look like this. It's a little bit thicker and a little bit blobbier than regular cake batter, but the thickness does not come from too much flour. It comes from the applesauce and the honey. Toss these into a 250-degree Fahrenheit oven and bake until they are done. A toothpick in the center will come away clean and the tops will be nice and bouncy, and that'll take about 25 minutes or so. For the cherry filling, you can easily use store-bought cherry pie filling, or you can make your own as I have with some frozen cherries. Now I've thickened this cherry sauce with potato starch. It works great instead of the cornstarch. The recipes below, you really don't need step-by-step, but if you need it, you can go to the banana bread recipe. There's a link below, and I've got a step-by-step of how to make it there. Let's slice the cake, and I'll show you an easy way to do it. Ready? Here we go. Now that was easy, hey? And the cake didn't fall apart. So for the layers, I will be doing cherry, chocolate sauce, cherry, and then chocolate sauce on top. That's it. It's done! Ta-da! I hope everyone has a happy Valentine's Day.